So today we looked at a parable in Matthew 20 where Jesus talks about some workers in a vineyard, and they agreed to work an entire day, and in exchange they would get a full day's wage, a denarius. And while they were working, periodically the vineyard owner would go out and would hire more people. So some people work 12 hours, some people work 9, some people work 6, some people work 3. And at the end of the day, he was settling up. And the people who worked the full day, they saw that the people who only worked 3 hours were getting a denarius, and they thought, man, I'm going to get even more than what I thought. But when it came down to it, they were all paid exactly the same. And so the people felt that they were ripped off because they worked a full day and got paid the same as the people who only worked a few hours. And we talked about this idea of how do we handle the fact that we all get different things. It doesn't seem fair. We're all born into different circumstances. Some seem better than others. God puts some of us in a wealthy family. Some of us, He gives us a lot of gifts. Some of us, we have great social skills, or we have things that we envy. How do we deal with the fact that we don't all get the exact same thing from God? And we identified 4 ways, sort of in a progression, of how we handle the fact that God chooses to bless us in different ways and to give us different things. And the first is just to cut out the comparison, to block it out, to forget about, to not worry about, to not notice, to not think about what other people have. But then we said from there we have to move to the next step, which is trust, which allows us to actually be okay with the fact that we each have different things, to trust that God wants what's best for us, to trust that God is taking care of us. And if we knew what He knew, we would agree with what He's doing in our lives. And then we move to the third thing, which is gratitude. When we remember what it is that we deserve from God, that we deserve God's wrath, and instead because of Jesus, we get heaven, we get God's grace and mercy, we should be consumed with gratitude. And so we go from not just being okay with what God has given us to actually being grateful for it. And then the fourth thing, the final step, the most difficult step, is we go from actually being excited when other people receive good things, that we're pulling for other people to see blessings in their life, for them to receive mercy from God, for God to pour out His grace and to give them good things, that we're rooting for the good things of God in other people because of what a wonderful testimony it is. God is a compassionate and gracious God, slow to anger, abounding in love. And God really calls us to celebrate whenever He pours His love out on others.